My name is Sibi Arasu, and I'm an independent journalist based here in Bangalore. I have been reporting and following up on news related to environment and climate change for the best part of 6, 7 years now, and I've been a journalist for about 11 years. And I've written for both Indian and international media organizations, and worked in multiple national media organizations in Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, and Bangalore. So I thought I'll address this question about complicity of the media when it comes to perpetuating certain ways of seeing and knowing disaster events and people, and in what ways could reporting of these periods following disasters be improved. I thought I'll speak from a personal perspective as a journalist because that I felt might add value to our conversation here. I feel media, unfortunately, is quite complicit as a whole, and most media houses tend to blame the government or any administrative power who's in charge of overseeing the region that has been hit by the disaster event. I was involved with the IIHS earlier this year on a project related to looking at preparing a handbook for media organizations in India, especially South India, to cover climate change better. But also, my colleagues had looked at how media had been covering these events. And what they found, which I'm sure others in the panel will also elaborate on, is that media's coverage tends to be very narrowly focused in terms of timeline. And in terms of accountability, they tend to point the finger, like I said, at the government in most cases. And they looked, if I'm not mistaken, at about 4 media houses in southern India. Personally, as a journalist covering climate change and environment, I have to say it's only recently in the last 2 or 3 years that I've found space in the mainstream media for these issues, like a large amount of media real estate essentially, that focuses on these issues. Earlier, it was just buried in the science pages or in the feature pages, and it was only when, say, a COP conference or party event happens or a major disaster strikes a particular region that climate change or other fundamental reasons why the disaster has happened is looked into in any amount of detail. And that too, more often than not, is reactionary. I think the issue is manifold, and I don't think I can go into all of the complexities of it. But few things I'd like to highlight is that within the media houses itself, my experience is that the dominant perspective among many senior editors and the powers that be is that the environment related issues are still anti-development, and environmental regulation laws such as coastal regulation zone laws or EIAs, etc. They are looked at with, I wouldn't say disdain, but they're not looked at as something that is part of the regulatory framework as they should be. For example, I had an editor in one of my jobs in a mainstream national daily who refused to let us do any stories related to coastal regulation zones in Chennai because he had frankly decided that these rules were just hindering development of infrastructure in the city. And no amount of argument from our part to the contrary could convince him. And this was after the tsunami had hit the city, a few years after the tsunami had hit the city. So I don't know what it will really take to convince some people of the seriousness of these issues. Another issue, I think, is that disasters and their fallout are sensationalized, especially so in broadcast media and especially in regional language broadcast media. And there's little coverage, prolonged coverage of the long-term fallout of disasters. Case in point is the Tamil Nadu floods in 2015, which I happened to be there and I wrote about it for various outlets, including the BBC. And I saw that many of my colleagues, especially those who are in the mainstream media outlets, they did cover the issue when it happened. But as soon as the news cycle ended, most of them just moved on to the next development. The city itself has also been Chennai, the capital city of Tamil Nadu, has been braced by multiple extreme weather events in the last 20 years. not least the tsunami, the flood event, cyclones, etc. But like this is been accepted as some kind of new normal in a rather detritus way, where development in low-lying flood-prone areas still continue, and people are just frankly moving out when this disaster happens and then coming back to business as usual after that. So media also doesn't seem to question the authorities or any of these bodies which are propagating development in environmentally sensitive regions as they should do. So this is another big problem, I feel. And then the last few points that I'd like to make is that the issue is systemic and is not just restricted to coverage of environment and climate change. It's an issue in the Indian media landscape in its general, I feel. There's not really any avenue for journalists to gain a deeper understanding. Nobody is really sent to, say, a refresher course where they can learn about the beat that they cover in greater detail. And the news cycles are also so fast. Most journalists I know who are in the mainstream media need to produce 2 or 3 stories every single day. So they just don't have the time or the mind space to pursue and get deeper understanding of any issue, let alone climate change or environmental issues or disaster recovery. And media's priorities also tend to lean towards politics, entertainment, and crime. These are considered the primary money spinners in media. And I think largely this is still the case. And the importance that environmental issues or even health issues until recently deserve were not given at all. In that sense, the coronavirus pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic has obviously put healthcare and coverage of health sector in the spotlight. But I mean, if it takes a pandemic for this to happen, then that is really an extremely high price to pay, I feel. So yeah, this is my view on this. Thanks.